In 1972, German hard rock psych band 2066 and Then released their singular album, Reflections on the Future, and from it, the track At My Home. Okay, I love that trade-off between like what sounds like kind of like a bass organ or just kind of like a bass, and then that organ comes in, that more swirling, thick. One, two, yeah, and then that descending riff with the organ and the guitar over it. A lot of counterpoint. Everyone's playing notes and just like on top of one another. Great, like closed cadence, like note playing, but like with a real open flow feel to it, and those drum rolls coming underneath it. Yeah, it's like one of the instrumentalists is playing the root note, and another I think is playing like a third. Yeah, each one of them playing like a different note over.
When I was younger, a wild young man, on the road, a wild young man.
Okay, now we've gone into a totally different key center, independent from the opening section, and that real sore-throated type of voice that was in vogue around this time in that post-Cocker era that kind of let it all hang out. Very much borrowing from like the blues tradition. It's like younger European vocalists trying to influenced by the vocals of older like African American singers like from the Mississippi Delta and the Chicago blues scene.
One day here, one day there, never stopping anywhere. Try to run, try to hide, try to leave this world behind. But things are different today.
Oh, great bridge of the track where the cadence kind of opens up and you've got this like organ line that just kind of like flares out like that, and yeah. Let's catch up with the lyrics to this. When I was younger, a wild young man, on the road, a wild young man. One day here, one day there. We know what this is about already. Never stopping anywhere, tried to run, tried to hide, tried to leave this world behind, but things are different today. I know I'm always going to stay at my home. Okay, so even though he's been through like these restless phases where he just wanted to roam, where he wanted to be a drifter, where he didn't want to be confined or bound to anything, where he wanted to see the world or see as much of it, or just live on a wing and a prayer. He ultimately found himself returning to a more ground. I can relate to that. He ultimately found that his place of origin was the place he was most comfortable in.
Things are different today. I know I'm always gonna stay at my home.
Hear that bit of flute in there, kind of like buried in the mix. But
I never thought.
I love those little like organ fills, like like that. Just
Feel this away. The world is changing from day to day.
hear that kind of like jumpy figure that the drum keeps putting in. That
Try to hide, try to leave this world behind.
Yeah, the figure kind of reminds me of the drum pattern in "Time Will Be Your Doctor" by Fuzzy Duck.
Running here, running there, running round and everywhere. Things are different today.
I'm glad to hear that coming more prominent in the mix, that flute.
I know I was gonna stay at my home. I hear it raining.
That organ once again, those like thick, full-throated vocals. Let's see. Okay, I never thought I'd feel this way. The world is changing from day to day. Tried to run, tried to hide, tried to leave this world behind. That vocal melody right on those lines, yeah, kind of gives the song kind of a bit of a angular twist right there. Yeah, running here, running there, running round and everywhere, but things are different. But things are different today. Yeah, that vocal flare up, as he says today. I know I'm always going to stay at my home. Yeah.
Around my house, everywhere, yeah, around my house. I sit beside the fireside, the thoughts are in the world outside. The sun goes down, the lights go out, I think I'm people living without.
Kind of a message to the song that no matter where you go in this world, the problems of the world are just going to continue and be the same. And rather than trying to escape them by going somewhere else, it's best to kind of, in some ways, just make peace in the best way you can in the area, in the part of land that you're most comfortable and that you're most familiar with, that you're best, suited for. It's really hard to pull up roots and really make a foreign land your home. Few people do it. Like I went to LA, for a while, which I'd wanted to do for a long time, and I thought that people's reasons for hating LA would be the same reasons I'd like it, and then I ended up coming up with much different reasons for disliking it, and part of that was due to the fact that I think I missed the golden age of LA anyway, and heck, I don't even want to be in the big city anymore, but I could go on for an hour on that topic. The bass is emerging now. Would I notice how this track we've got like guitar, bass, drums, organ, and a bit of flute there, and then the vocals. But despite all of like the real roughness of the track, that the real thick kind of blankety sonic sound. The guitar has really been reining it in. Like it has been pretty muted through a lot of this. It's been the organ that's just been like covering this up like a big thick soup, like flowing lava. Really kind of shrill, kind of cutting organ sounds, getting into some of those higher tones, like Ella, like John Lord from the time. Let's see. Organ work is played on this album. Looks like we have two guys credited with a whole heaping arsenal of keyboards. Veit Marvos plays organ, electric piano, or E-piano as they have it, piano, mellotron, percussion vocals. And Steve Robinson plays organ, E-piano, synthesizer, mellotron, and vibraphone. I wonder if each has a mellotron, or they both share, or they both take turns at the same one. Really moving around on that thing. Yeah, this track is co-written by Steve Robinson, the second keyboardist I read off, and Mrozeck, the guitar player, vocalist. Let's see, the lead vocals are Geff Harrison. English, from Manchester, England, actually. So, this band has a bit of mixed national. I guess you could say that they're a German. Well, they're an English. Actually, the name Steve Robinson. I guess he's German. Oh, real name Rainer Geyer. Okay, yeah. So they're all German except for the guy that's singing here. Yeah, who's from Manchester, England. Oh, now we're going into this brisk gallop, yeah, with that drumming, just all just as many hits per bar as possible. That. And appreciate that bass riff underneath it. That. What does that kind of resemble? Let's just say it kind of resembled like chase scene music. I'm thinking of something from the 1960s. Oh, hear that organ just like stretching out as much as it can, like these sounds being squeezed and just out of it. They're definitely both playing organ on this. This sounds like a duel. Okay, and the drums on this are played by Konstantin Bommarius, who, let's see, went on to Cathargo after this. Yeah. And let's see, 14 credits according to Discogs. Oh, and one of the organists, Veit Marvos, he went on to Emergency. I guess that explains why Emergency ended up covering the track Time Will Take It Away, which was originally done by 2066 and then, yeah, they did it on No Compromise. I covered another track from that Emergency album, yeah, a couple months ago. Well, the flute got to shine right there, and I'm not seeing it in the credits though. So who knows? It could have been Geff. It could have been Geff Harrison. The riffage from the beginning of the track, yeah, that counterpoint, just everyone playing notes on top of one another. No, hear the layers, take them apart, like down, 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 na 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 na. On top of that, na 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 na. And then a dropout of what was underlying and just the top layer. Da no 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 no, and then the guitar going down down down. I guess it's like an octave thing. Down down down. And then switch to a completely unrelated key center. It's like da na 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 F. Yeah, well. I think it's F minor. Da 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 da. No. No, it's E. Trying to run, trying to hide, trying to leave this world behind. Things are different today. I know I'm always gonna stay at my home. Let's see, catching up with the lyrics here. I hear it raining around my house. I hear the wind around my house. I sit beside the fireside. My thoughts are in the world outside. The sun goes down, the lights go out. I think of people living without all the comforts of the home. I know I'm always going to stay at my home. Oh, even back then, you know, the thought of people not having those basic comforts, those, you know, just a basic roof over the head. You know, now the problem is rampant, of course, but, you know, when I was younger, a wild young man on the road, a wild young man, one day here, one day there. Okay, retreading some ground there, I think, yeah. I think the basically 3 verses that seem to repeat according to these lyrics.
I feel this way. The world is changing from day to day. I'm trying to run, I'm trying to hide, trying to leave this world behind. Running here, running there, running round and everywhere. All things are different today.
Yeah, this guy might have one of the like most kind of full-throated voices on the European scene from that time. That really kind of gurgling type sound. I'm trying to think. The French band, I think Ergo Sum, had a singer that was similar. Yeah. It's almost like a tone of voice that you could say it's like the vocal equivalent of the real rough, gurgling Hammond organ sound.
I hear it raining, yeah, around my house. I hear the wind, yeah, around my house. I'm running here, I'm running there, I'm running round and everywhere. Sun goes down, the lights go out. I think our people living without all the comforts of the home, yeah.
I love the grandiosity of these like open cadence bridge bars where it just like, oh, you know, flares out like that and his voice flares up. Yeah.
I'm gonna stay at my
Epic closer, you know, that final moment where they just like leave this breakaway for his, you know, vocal finale. Yeah, that was At My Home by 2066 and then, yeah, German hard rock psych powerhouse, put out this one great album in 1972. Reflections on the Future, later resequenced and re-released as Reflections on the Past, with a few bonus tracks. There have been several issues of the album, and one of them included, I guess, an unreleased track at the time from 1971, It's a Shame, because it's one of my favorite tracks that they did, and I'm going to play it right now. I Wanna Stay. That real low, kind of heavy bass downbeat that, and with the organ rising right above it.
Tired of the town just hanging around. Tired of the crowds that put me down.
Real guttural, dirty vocals.
Look for a reason to make the day. Found it in your eyes, so please let me stay. Baby, I got to leave it. When I look in your eyes, I gotta stay, woman.
Oh god, the way that his voice is just like flaring up with all that grit and just growling quality and that organ, those cutting in like organ keys, like down, down, just like facilitating the rise.
Don't look in my face, when I look in your eyes, then I gotta stay.
Yeah, I love that. The way he keeps on saying woman and his just voice gets all just, ugh. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that, well, obviously the track Woman by Mr. Albert Show that came out the same year. Yeah.
Only you know how to love me to hide, but only you, girl, can see in my nights. Only you get me out of my flight, baby. I got to leave her, but when I see your face, and I wanna say, woman.
That organ is just like so like icy and thick, and I love how the track goes from like a G minor type verse, and then it just kind of, it doesn't so much changes, it just kind of like slides, kind of modulates right up to A minor.
Don't you look in my eyes when I see your face? I wanna say,
I think there's like minor sevenths, yeah, because there's kind of like a lowered tone to the whole track, really. And kind of a light wailing tone, but what I really wanted to comment on was the bass. I noticed how in both tracks the bass is kind of just more felt than heard at times, but then at some point in the middle, just like in the last track, it starts to assert itself a bit more and become a bit more crafty and play actually like its own notes and its own lines. Oh yeah, we definitely got two keyboards going on here. You see, you got that kind of wheezy, like analog synthesizer coming down, like an early Moog, and then you've got that organ, that really thick organ underneath it.
When I see your face, I know the I gotta say, woman, don't you leave me.
Oh, that really, the counterpoint between his vocals right here and that organ, those cutting, thick keys, yeah, it just is the ultimate earworm of the track, I gotta say.
I see your face, I gotta stay.
The way his vocals just flares up and kind of like unfolds on that real high note right there, yeah.
I'm tired of the town, I'm tired of the crowd.
Appreciate the real kind of like echoey, reverberating tone of that bass. Really like adding to the sonic thickness quite a bit.
Tired of the people all wanting me down. I look for a reason to make the day, and I found it in your eyes. So please let me stay. Please look in my face. When I see your eyes, I gotta stay. Don't look in my face, 'cause when I see you, I gotta stay.
The way he just like stretches it out, flares up, yeah, just tears it up.
Don't you look in my face, baby.
Now he's really starting to caterwaul, kind of almost randomly.
Oh, look in my face, 'cause when I see you, I gotta stay, baby.
Oh God, yeah, a track that really should get, yeah, a track that more like hard rock fans of this era really need to hear. Yeah, should be like bumped up to like evergreen status in the in the online. the justice that we do to the era in which so much great music was coming out that no one person, no 10 people, no 100 people could have caught it all as it was happening in real time. It's up to the 21st century to slowly unpack the many great riches of the early 70s, as well as the 70s as a whole, and the early 80s, and yeah. And so we can just keep on doing videos like this, hopefully for the next 20 years. Anyway, yeah, that was 2066 and then with I Wanna Stay from 1971. And before that, the track At My Home, the lead-off track from the original sequence of their 1972 singular album, Reflections on the Future, released that year on United Artists Records, yes. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the 2066 and Then album, see the directory of albums by German artists linked in the description below for Red Hot Tracks and Purples from this album and many other great German bands, like from One Album Max, like this band, and albums, as well as bands that had many albums in their discography, like Birth Control, Embryo, and you name it, yeah. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two tracks we just heard, the instrumentation, the layers, the vocaling, the thickness, the intensity of it all, the song construction, the way it kind of broke up at times, the interplay, the counterpoint, colliding notes, the certain organ tones. Yeah, what moments stood out to you? And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.